Hello. Um, Hello, it's Cloud. But it's gonna be her PGR stream, and we'll be doing Selena Story today. And of course, I don't have her. I have her now, but I don't have any levels for her yet. So we'll have to increase her affection story. I mean, affection level. I heard that Selena Story is pretty bad. But we'll try to check out. I wanna hear a story.
勝手にしろ。邪魔するな。目的は
Selena. Alright.
聞こえてき
You
ます。
just have to give her some of the
とても長い悪夢を見ていたんで。
gifts. What is the one she likes? This one? In stock 20. Okay.
こ
Let's
の
give it to
戦い
her.
あやめを
Level 4.
私の髪に飾
We
っ
need
て
two
もらっ
more.
ても良いでしょうか。
So
ええ。ヘアバンドのところに。 あ
alright.
やめを私の髪に飾ってもらっても良いでしょう
Chip into my sideburns, yeah.
か。ええ。
Above.
ヘアバンドのところにとても長い悪夢を見ていたんです。暗い孤独感に苛まれて
Oh my god, this is foreshadowing.
忘れてしまう。しばらくして差し込んできた一筋の光、その光をたどって歩いていたらあなたに出会ったんです。
Actually, feeling ko may na-spoiled na ako. Kasi may nakita ako. Assuming it's true, I think sa Aaron is Selena. Fuck that. Alright, let's do a story. Affection story. Is it a secret or is it a story? This one. Wait, why is one? Huh? Okay. Dear stranger. What's this? Is this a letter? I know you might be confused seeing this in your mailbox. If you're too busy with work and have no time for stuff like this, feel free to toss this letter into the trash. Okay. But if you do happen to have some free time or are looking for a way to kill time, please consider flipping over to page 2. On a random day, you receive a letter from a stranger in your personal mailbox. Most people in this day and age wouldn't send handwritten letters unless it was a confidential document. For one, it was a waste of resources, and for another, it's not instantaneous. But this letter clearly isn't of the confidential sort. The royal blue ink, the smooth sheet, and the elegant cursive letters, and the faint woody scent of powder is all too exquisite and meticulous. Almost as if it were a message from another world. Letters have almost been completely replaced by comms in this era, A formal letter like this is exceedingly rare and only glimpsed in movies filmed in the previous century. Who would use such a antiquated way of communication? Feeling confused, you slowly flip over to the next page. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea because I know I'm gonna read a lot today. I'm glad you're reading this line. This means this letter hasn't ended up crushed in the trash can. Please don't get me wrong, this is not a prank. Truth be told, I'm looking for a pen pal. I'm not sure if you know what a pen pal is. I only learned of it recently when I saw it in a book from the Center of Basic Public Education's library. Basically, pen pals build a friendship by writing letters to each other. People say that a long time ago, before the information age arrived, people would write letters to communicate across vast distances. Perhaps you might think that such an inefficient and costly way of communicating is tedious and a waste of time. But when I saw this method, it just seemed so. The next word was crossed out several times. And it was obvious that the writer was weighing their words over and over. Romantic. She finds it romantic to find a pen pal. Okay. Romantic, yes. That's right. It's a type of romance that we lack in this era. An era in which everyone is always in a hurry, in pursuit of maximum levels of efficiency. The act of finding stillness and putting your thoughts on paper is simply inconceivable. There are even times when I feel that the written word is better than spoken language when it comes to expressing what's deep in your heart. I think that's real, this part. No matter where I am, things look good etiquette and upbringing weigh heavily on my shoulders, smothering me. It's only when I'm writing that I can cast off those shackles and be myself. The words I can never speak, the feelings inside I can't say out loud, the written word will say what my voice cannot. What's more, I won't have to deal with the immediate reaction from others, nor will I feel ashamed of the unseemliness of my actions. I can write whatever I want on paper, and the words that appear on the page reflect who I am inside. I seem to be blabbering. Forgive me for being so immature as to get overexcited and let my emotions get the better of me over such a small matter. Oh, don't be. Anyway, since you've read up to this point, you should already have guessed. I would like you, a stranger, to be my pen pal. Kung may nagtanong sa akin na to, maybe I'll give it a shot, I guess. At first, I was thinking of trying out this method of communication with my friends, but I came to realize that it was too deliberate, making it more awkward than it should be. So, I started contemplating sending This letter to a random address in Eden to a stranger I have never met. It's kind of spooky. I don't need to know who you are. Neither do you need to know who I am. All you have to do is use this antiquated but simple method of communicating to slowly get to know each other. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am Iris, and as you've probably guessed, this is not my real name, but rather a pen name. Well, that's enough about me. After all, you might not want to know everything about a stranger's life all at once. Perhaps we can talk about our hobbies in our next letter and share what we're passionate about. I've attached a return envelope and a blank sheet of paper with this letter. I hope to hear from you. Wow, that's so much effort. If you're too busy with work, don't worry about it. This shouldn't be onerous process. All you have to do is write your thoughts on the subject down. I'll be really happy with just that. Yours faithfully, Iris. Oh, sorry, I was blocking. Okay. Okay, there we go. Never mind, I'll put it back here. I'll go back here. For some reason, you decide to sit before your desk, pick up a pen and write a response, because it's the only option. From the other end of Babylonia, the young girl is pacing around the room with the letter grasped tightly in her hand. Selena, someone actually replied. She suddenly throws herself onto her bed, burying her face in the pillow. She's happy now because there's a romantic response. After quite some time, she finally looks up in the dim light and peeks at the letter in her hands, as if it were a real person and not just an object. She didn't actually have high hopes of receiving a reply when she sent the letter. That's why she's completely overjoyed right now, to the point of blushing. Phew. Taking a deep breath, Selena gently opens the letter and couldn't help averting her gaze for a moment. After calming herself down, she covers her eyes and peeks through the gaps between her fingers at the letter paper spread on the bed. Iris. Just kidding. Hello, thank you for your letter. My name is Cloud. She reads every word aloud and softly repeats the name in the signature. Cloud. A gentle smile quietly blossoms on her face. Man, I just gave out my name. What the heck, Commandant? Okay, she replied. Okay. So you don't know what Commandant said. I don't know what I said. Dear Cloud, you don't know how elated I was to receive a reply from you. It's been no more than 2 days since I first sent the letter. Babylonia really is small, isn't it? But just the wait itself made me realize why people in the olden days used to be so fond of communicating through letters. The act of waiting heightens emotions akin to watching fruit ripen. It fills one with anxiety and expectations. That's either good or bad, you know. Perhaps it's not highly efficient, but it's worth the wait. I'd like to once again formally introduce myself. My pen name is Iris. Okay. And I'm emphasizing my name for the second time because I'd like to share with you the meaning behind this name. Something I didn't do in my first letter. I chanced upon this beautiful name while reading The Tempest. You may have heard of this opera, but in any case, please let me provide you with an excerpt. Then there was a series of beautiful transcriptions. The person who wrote this letter even changed the color of the ink to write this poetic text. Ceres, the goddess of fertility. I am the rainbow in the sky, and I am the envoy of Queen of Heaven. The Queen of Heaven in the clouds sent a message to ask you to leave your supple field where wheat, barley, rye, I don't know how to pronounce that, oats, wild beans, and peas flourish. Thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep and flat meads, thatched with stover them to keep. The banks, thy banks with piand and toad brims with spongy April at thy hest that trims. To make cold nymphs, chaste crowns, and thy broom grows. Hey, what the fuck am I reading? Okay. Who's Shadow but the Miss Bachelor loves. Being last lorn, thy vineyard, and thy sea march, blah blah, blah blah blah. The Queen of the Sky, whose watery ark and messenger am I. Bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, here peacocks fly amain. Approach rich Ceres, her to entertain. Writing here now, even the pen tip and pressure have become blah 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 soft. These are lines from The Tempest. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow and the emissary of the gods. The rainbow bridges heaven and earth. It conveys people's joys and sorrows to the gods and spreads their gospel to the world. I am fascinated both by the things that Iris symbolizes, as well as by the stanza itself. I've never seen the things it mentions, so I keep fantasizing about them and imagining what they're like. If their names are already so perfect, imagine how beautiful they would be in real life. Suddenly, with a turn of the pen, my apologies, I'm rambling on and on about my interests again. This has always been a bad habit of mine, or at least that's what my parents often say. I just want to share with you what I lost most with you. Okay. I read that wrong. I love operas. I love the stuff that exists only in stories and in imagination. And what about you? What is it that you love? I love PGR. But I don't have money. Can't gotcha. I mean, I got some gotcha though. Because I tried to earn. Iris, hello. Oh, this is me replying. I heard this name before. It also symbolizes something else. The flower iris. Have you ever seen one? As for what I love, You have been writing with a pen pal named Iris for some time. Relying on the fragmentary information between the lines, you slowly what? Slowly piece together the overall image of her. She likes art, music, literature, opera, instrumental performance, and singing. In a time like this, when the punishing virus has taken away everything, the act of loving these things is an extravagance in and of itself. She is an innocent little girl who has never experienced any setbacks in life. Oh, she has a good upbringing then. She does not have to worry about anything other than herself. Only a greenhouse free of any contaminants would be able to produce such innocence. A flower of Eden that knows nothing of the real world. She's like Ayla, you know? I mean, Ayla doesn't know about the real world, right? When she made her art. That's what I remember. She lives in a perfect world, so even if you do not see things her way, you would not want to destroy the perfection she lives in. And you cannot avoid slowly opening up about your life as you send letters back and forth. You cannot avoid slowly opening up. Okay. You have started asking and answering each other's questions in those letters. In your last letter, you mentioned the words like FOS later. I went back to learn more about it. With all due respect, Cloud, were you a student at FOS Military Command College? Are you a soldier? Your writing is very special, sharp, and beautiful, and full of power. That's why I have this speculation. Huh? What does a soldier have to do with writing very sharp? As your writing suggests, you certainly have a strong will. Okay, I guess this one though. I hope to become just like you, so resolute and determined. Let's talk about me then. I don't have my life planned out. But it's said that on turning 18, every resident of Eden will be allocated a suitable job by Gestalt. I've been thinking about what kind of person I want to become. If I do nothing and go along with Gestalt's affinity and suitability matching data, letting it determine my future, my life would probably be very dull. As mentioned previously, I love operas. Using the libretto and music to convey your inner world to others, I feel that it's an especially meaningful endeavor. What do you think? Though, that was just two, oh my gosh. 3. Your letters have not been especially frequent. Sometimes you get one a week, sometimes you get one the entire month. There have even been times when you receive a letter and forget to reply until much later. In any case, the letters between Iris and you have never stopped. Like an hourglass, the grains of time kept slipping by. And recently, the innocent little girl has been showing greater maturity. You have begun to grow ever closer. Despite this, Iris has never overstepped the boundaries. One could argue that you were close, but then again, you have never met. One could also argue that you were not close, but then again, being pen pals, you know each other's deepest secrets. One day, Iris started sending gifts along with her letters. They were generally trinkets. Our teacher, our teacher at the Center of Basic Public Education took us to the greenhouse today for an observation. In a sense, it was to provide hands-on education in understanding the makeup of plants. It was my first time seeing such vibrant flowers in bloom, and in that moment, all that I could think of was how true that line was. God expects answers for the flowers He sends us, not for the sun and the earth. Oh, yes, and among those flowers, was a purple one. That was exceedingly beautiful. It might have been an iris, a flower he previously mentioned. It was my first time seeing something so beautiful. But my teacher plucked that flower and deconstructed it so that we could understand what was inside. Sag. Its remnants were scattered within the petri dish for us to observe. And looking at it, I lost my desire to learn more. I just felt lost and miserable. I mean, I don't know. Although from a logical perspective, the flower had fulfilled its purpose. A purpose of being dead. We had maximized the benefits gained from its existence, and I suppose something good came out of it. But I feel it shouldn't have been that way. Perhaps there could have been a more fitting ending for it. Let it silently bloom and be held in appreciation by those who view it before withering with no regrets. The life cycle of a flower is nothing short of a miracle. Oops, sorry, I can't read. But we cannot spare the time to admire this miracle. We have been educated to use the most efficient method to achieve our goal and get the results. We have lost the ability to admire beauty in our pursuit of maximum efficiency. This disheartens me. And then I started relating that to myself. My music, my opera, and everything about me doesn't seem to hold any value in this world. They won't be of help to anyone, nor will anyone take notice of them. Should I even continue doing this? I'm at a loss. What do you think, Cloud? Oh yes, I begged the teacher to leave me the remnants of the flower. I took them home and dried them and put them back together to make a bookmark. Wait, what? I don't know if she should have buried the flower or made it a bookmark. I can't be sure whether I'll ever see such a beautiful flower again. So I wedged it between the folds of the letter, and I hope you'll be able to smell its lingering fragrance. Oh, she passed it to me. There's a dried flower contained within the letter. Even though the color has faded, the beautiful purple still remains ever vivid within its grooves. You place it on your desk, then pick up your pen to continue writing. Iris. I wonder if you have ever heard such a saying. Oh my god. Keep moving forward. I think Aaron said this right. Eren Yeager. Do not linger to gather and preserve the petals. Paved is your path, with flowers blooming as nature intends. I thought there was next. After a brief while, you receive a reply. Thank you for your letter, Cloud. You don't know how much those words mean to me. You are absolutely right. Just simply wanting will never result in anything, so I have chosen to take action. You cannot make excuses for yourself to escape by simply not having a stage, an actor, or the fear of being misunderstood. I cannot keep burying myself in my creative work and forget that it's more important to use them to reach out to others. Therefore, I plan to use robots to perform the opera that I wrote and reproduced. I contacted the manager of the virtual exhibition hall, and they agreed to provide me with an area to hold my performance. Oh, that's nice. Tomorrow will be the premiere, and truth be told, I'm feeling very nervous. Wait, so when I received the letter, is it already done? It's not mentioned. I'm confident in my project, but I'm also terrified of the criticism and lack of understanding I'll get. Contradiction within my heart is tormenting me. By the time you read this, I'll probably already have performed the first show at the exhibition hall. Is this where I think this is the time where Ayla first saw a theater performance, right? Yeah, I think that's the time. Then I think they also became pen pals after. I mean, that's what I remember. Cloud, do you think it will be a success? No matter whether it'll be successful, I just hope that as you read this letter, you'll pray for my success. Yeah, sure. It's gonna be successful. Even though we've never met, I feel that right now, you are the person that understands me the most. Phew. The letter is sent. She then looks at the robot beside her. Time to fight my battle. She closes her eyes and looks resolutely at the exhibition hall. My dearest Cloud. Wow. You're already the dearest, huh? I don't know how to express my inner joy with you. Only at this moment, I think these words lack in tenor. I keep imagining that if you were to be standing in front of me at this moment, I would hug you and share my happiness with you. Oh, that's so nice. Such elegant writing, like a soaring dragon and dancing phoenix, etched within this paper, so warmly proclaims the happiness and the enthusiasm of the writer. Eleganto. I cannot help but be thankful that I wasn't about to do it. Otherwise, others would consider my actions inappropriate. Not long ago, I mentioned my decision to perform my opera at the virtual exhibition hall. To be honest, it got off to a terrible start. No one wanted to stop and spend time watching something like that. I was despondent, and then a girl showed up. She gave me affirmation. She said my opera was fascinating, and she wanted to see what would happen next. See, this is Isla. I think this is really Isla. I don't know if she was the kid Isla or the big Isla. She was an artist and even said she wanted to help provide illustrations for the scenes. My work inspired another creator to produce a new artwork. There is no greater honor than this. I feel so happy. It's the most precious thing in the world. From that moment on, all my feelings of despondency vanished. I still felt that it's all been worth it. So what if I only have an audience of one? I'll continue creating works and writing opera. Alright, her name is Babam. This line is scratched out forcefully. Of course, you gotta give anonymity. No, I shouldn't give you her name without permission. In any case, we've become very close friends. So let me just call her Ayla. I wish I could introduce A to you. You'd like her. I'm sure she'd definitely like you too. Perhaps there's no need for introductions. After all, Babylon is pretty small and who knows, we might already have met somewhere. Who knows, right? Who knows? Perhaps when we actually meet someday, we'll stare at each other's face and simultaneously exclaim, "Oh, so that was you back then." Okay, 4, then 5. From that day on, the girl named A frequently appears in Iris's letters. Through those letters, you can feel Iris's joy in finding a best friend. I guess you two never became best friends. The days go by, and through descriptions in the letters, the other girl starts to take shape. From time to time, she and Iris would have a huge fight over some minute differences in ideas. Yet, the next moment, they would spend all day and night deep in discussion because they found new common ground. To think that, in a world like this, there are people who are bothered by things like this. While thinking about how inconceivable this is, you also feel a subtle sense of gratification. It's like seeing flowers blooming in a briar of thorns. Heartwarming. It does not know what a tempest is, nor does it need to know. Knowing that you're both doing well is enough for you. Both Iris and A have been getting busier. They're pursuing their own ideals, working to forge their own path in these unforgiving times. Wait, was that a change in sound? Oh my god. Okay. It's been a while since my last letter to you, Cloud. Please forgive my recent lack of correspondence. It's just that after things starting falling in place, I haven't had much time to myself. The World Government Association of Art, WGAA by the way, contacted me recently, telling me they really love my operas. They're giving me an opportunity to have my play performed in the Grand Opera House of Babylonia. As such, I've been spending my days and nights making preparations, writing the libretto, composing the music. I've decided to base it on Acadia evacuation. A is helping me as well, of course. Every day we discuss how to set up the scenery so that everything is perfect. I've gained enough experience and I've never doubted my own talent. I have absolute confidence in myself. But for some reason I cannot explain, I am panicking. My audience is growing larger, cheering for me and supporting my operas. But this panic feels like quicksand, pulling me deeper and deeper. Quicksand? I don't know why I am panicking. I've pondered over it a long time. But I don't know what it is that I am missing. I don't dare to unload this on A. She's busy concentrating on her own art and I cannot disturb her at this time. So I guess we're the pen pal where they lean on our shoulder. In the past, when I gazed up at the stars in the sky, all I saw was unparalleled beauty. But now, when I gaze up at those stars, same stars, all I feel is an unbearable emptiness. My opera will be performed the day after tomorrow, and yet here I am cowering. I feel so lost, and so I write to you for help. This is incredibly selfish of me. How could I be so mean as to heap my problems on you? But I trust you unconditionally. You've always been so strong. You've always managed to get me back on track. Please tell me, Cloud, what is it that I am missing? There is an opera ticket attached to the letter. If you can make it, please come and see my show. I had hoped that our first meeting wouldn't be under such dire circumstances, but alas, it's unavoidable. I want to. The following sentence repeats several times. Written down, then erased, written down, then erased, written down, then erased once more. Her hesitation and urgency are only veiled with a sheet of paper. All of the contradiction eventually boiled down to a desperate plea for help. Oh no, what just happened? She was panicking because there's so much people supporting her now? What? Oh, I want to see you, Cloud. So that's what she wanted. But it backfired. Follow-up missions and lengthy combat exercises have kept you very busy. Every day, you do not even have the time and opportunity to check your mail, let alone attend a date. Another month passes in the blink of an eye. You open your mailbox to find it stuffed full of letters. They are all from Iris. You open each one, carefully reading through them. Oh no. You weren't in my audience, I'm pretty sure of that. Because even though we've never met, I'm sure I can recognize your face at a glance. What? Are you a stalker? I've been waiting for you, but I didn't see you even when the performance ended. I guess you didn't have time. I believe you didn't have time. Yep, didn't have time. You're a soldier. So it must been So it must have been something that you had no say in. That's what I tell myself. Although I must admit, I was dismayed. I'm really glad you didn't come to see the opera. It was such a novice attempt. So much that so much so that I wouldn't feel comfortable showing it. Oh my god, my reading is bad. So much so that I wouldn't feel comfortable showing it to you. Had you seen it, you would have been disappointed in me. After the performance ended, I found the reason for my panic. Using the libretto and music to convey your inner world to others, I feel that it's an especially meaningful endeavor. I seem to have written this in one of my previous letters, didn't I? I've been in such a hurry that I ended up becoming the type of person I used to dislike. Along the way, I'd somehow lost sight of my ideals and my dreams. I'd stopped examining every libretto I wrote, and my arrogance hurt others. This pains me. A long time ago, I felt that Babylonia was such a small place. So much so that sending letters never took more than a day. Now more than ever, I realize why it is so small. It comes across as comfortable and cozy because I've been a frog in a well. It's a good analogy. From my limited perspective, I depicted a ridiculous presentation of the world and actually thought it was the real thing. If I want to capture the real world on canvas and create real art, I should not stay here. Only the experience of hell can exercise the power to create heaven. Only through blood of the fingers can the world pop into existence. Someone once said that. I strongly believe this, and so I've made the biggest decision of my life. I wish you could be physically here with me and listen to me telling you this, and then just as always, tell me what I should do. But this time, I cannot wait any longer. This is my decision and my responsibility to bear. I cannot push them to you. Waiting is no longer a pleasant experience, but a torture. See? It depends. Do not linger to gather flowers to keep them, but walk on, for flowers will keep themselves blooming all your way. You once told me that. I'm moving forward, Cloud. This is sino to? Erwin Taicho. Perhaps this will be the last letter. If this is not, well, the next time I send you a letter, I'll be a brand new me. What? What? Okay. I believe there will be a day when we will meet. That I am sure. I've attached a pen with this letter. That's the pen I've been using all this time. All this while. I've clutched it all day and night, contemplating how best to write you this letter. When you use it, it'll be as if I was holding your hand close to my heart. Oh, that's nice. Yours faithfully, Iris. Oh, Saj. Bye bye. This letter is like a final farewell. Almost immediately, you pick up your pen and begin to write a reply. Cause yeah, you've been busy. I mean, that makes sense. You would want to reply, Ed. But it's too late. Iris, art is the gentlest way of safeguarding the human soul. Wow, that's a way to write it. You might doubt yourself now, but don't turn your back to everything. Being able to enduring this hardship has made you all the more radiant. We will meet someday. I mean, that reply, I don't think she'll ever receive that. Okay, Tempest 5. Many months later, Iris, who had vanished without a trace for a long time, finally sent another letter. Wow, she replied. Oh, it's not dearest anymore. My dear Cloud, I never thought I'd have the chance to send you another letter. Thank you for your kind words. Oh wow, she did receive it. Even though I received it months after you sent it, my soul still got a modicum of comfort. What does modicum mean? There's something I have to tell you. Whoa. I've become a construct. Yes, I chose to become a construct, and the whole process went smoothly. That's why I can still write to you like before. Given how things are, there's no need to hide this anymore. I've joined WGAA's archaeological team. Oh, she's the new member in WGAA then. Oh, it's in the codex, right? I think. Becoming a construct has been an unbelievable experience, as if my perspective of the world has changed overnight. Sometimes I am not even sure if the person writing to you is the same old me. Not long ago, I learned how to use a weapon in battle. I may just be a support construct, but at least I have the strength to protect others now. I thought that by becoming a construct, I'd be able to fight in battle and partake in missions. So I guess she just became a soldier, just like us. Perhaps even meet you someday on the battlefield and use the strength I have to protect you. But it seems this hasn't been the case. The archaeological team doesn't need to be on the front lines. Most of our time is spent investigating relics from human history, recycling and repairing them. But it's fine. I wouldn't feel comfortable meeting you while I'm still getting used to this body. I'd like to be my best self when I meet you. So please be patient. I have so much to tell you, and words can no longer express these feelings. I wish to tell all of this to you in person. Actually, the WGAA is holding a ball next month. Would you be my dance partner? Hmm. Hmm. Yours sincerely, Iris. Yeah, I think we're not yet a commandant here because she just mentioned that we're just a soldier. Pick up a pen and write a response. Sorry, I'm drinking. Iris, I'm glad you're on track. Regarding the ball, I'm honored. However, Sag, you receive a reply the following day. Cloud, there is something I must tell you. There is no need to worry about trivial matters. The purpose is dancing to have fun, not to perform. Besides, there's no one in this world who doesn't know how to dance. It all boils down to whether you are willing to or not. As long as you're willing, no matter how much of a beginner you are, I'll be able to lead you through the most perfect dance. My education has trained me to lead and follow in dance, no matter whether it's tango, waltz, or rumba. There is no dance that I am not able to do. Whoa. Perhaps I didn't have the strength before, but now I can easily twirl you. Okay. All you have to do is trust me, follow my moves, and it'll all go smoothly. Then it's settled. This is the address, don't stand me up again. I'll be waiting for you. Oh my god. I'll be wearing an iris behind my ear. You'll recognize me for sure. Okay. The time to meet has arrived. There are bright lights outside the WGAA. In the exquisite courtyard, there are groups of association members. There are constructs and humans alike. Standing for what feels like ages at the door, there is no sign of the girl with an iris pinned behind her ear. The melodious orchestra filled the venue. Wait, is there no music? Yeah, there is no music. The melodious orchestra filled the venue, playing One Step Away, a classic tango song. Perhaps you really are one step away, because the dance has ended and she still has not shown up. Oh, Saj, oh my god, you just got traidor gago. Okay. You open your mailbox when you're home. There was a letter that had just arrived. Open and take a look. Cloud, I'm sorry. I really am. President Allen suddenly assigned me to a mission at a moment's notice. Babylonia is about to transit the space station's orbit. As a member of archaeological team, I was appointed to retrieve intel on the space station. The situation is urgent. I am leaving soon. I cannot go to the dance. I wanted to break this news to you immediately, but I realized that other than your address, I didn't have any other way to contact you. Sometimes I get really annoyed with myself. Why was I so fixated on this ritual in the first place? So much that I didn't even ask you for your comms account. I don't know when you'll receive this letter, but by the time you see it, I'll probably have set off. It feels like every time we're about to meet, something like this happens. And each time we miss the chance because something crops up. There's so much I haven't told you. Please wait for me, and next time I'll definitely make it happen. Archaeological team member. Selena, what are you up to? We need to get going. The members of the task force is getting impatient. Oh, I didn't expect that her to be her frame. I was expecting the Tempest. Okay, that's different. I'm sorry. I'm writing. Selena seals the letter with hot walks and hurriedly stands up. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let me send this letter and I'll report for duty. What's so pressing? Don't tell me that you're writing your last will and testament like a soldier about to go on an expedition. We're just the archaeological team after all. Of course not. It's just a personal letter. Is this a love? Please don't make fun of me. Her face. Selena's voice takes on a rare, reproaching tone, but she makes no attempt to deny it. Little did anyone know that a smile even more beautiful than an iris was spreading across her lips, betraying her true emotions. Sage. However, the Flower of Eden didn't know that this was the calm before the storm. It was also the last time she could ever smile like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's 1 through 5. We won't be reading 6 because I'm following Fury Productions' Guide to Read Selena Story. Okay. It says here we should read 1 through 5 of Affection Story. That's part 1. Then part 2 will be Interlude Story 1 to 4. I think it's this one. I don't know, okay? And no, this is Echo Aria. Interlude Story Tales. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's the one with BC rewards. Yeah, Interlude Story. Turandot. Because now that she knew her sin, she recognized that it was he who would bestow the final judgment upon her. Oh my god, she looks bloodied here. And what is that? Her weapon is a stick or something. No, it's like a mace. Maybe that's a spear. If the Pantheon still existed today, it probably won't stand any more impressive than this. A giant chandelier, beautiful and extravagant, hangs from the magnificent dome, illuminating the mural of the Last Judgment above with its refracted lights from multiple angles. So basically there's a chandelier. No one knows if there are any discrepancies between that and the original. No one cares whether the details match the records for that matter. All it has to do is to be here, is to be there. Just like the pillars carved with scenes taken from the Divine Comedy and contribute to the opulence and grandeur of the building. Every inch of the place is indescribably ostentatious, and unfortunately, this is probably the last and dreamiest opera house left in the world. A place like this exists only in Babylonia, in the last Eden of the human race. Farewell, my dear comrade, performer. May your future be filled with light and love. And those were the gentle final words of the performer playing the soldier as he collapsed in a pool of blood, giving his comrades his best wishes before slowly shutting his eyes. The maroon curtains drop and the opera entitled The Acadia Evacuation draws to a close. The lights slowly dim, and for a moment there is silence in the fully packed opera house. But soon a thunderous applause fills the entire auditorium. The well-dressed audience stand, giving a standing ovation to what they've just watched. Then, a beam of light breaks through the darkness, illuminating the stage. Right in the center of the dome's Last Judgment mural is a hole from which the light of the artificial sky poured in. The ray of light falls directly on the girl who has been standing in the center of the stage for some time. She is the soul of this opera, the composer of the ode that has taken the world by storm, Selena. She seems to be in a bit of a daze, as if she cannot believe her eyes. Her wandering gaze sweeps across the dome, the mural, the pillars, and finally lands on the audience. She seems to have seen something, for when her eyes reach a corner of the auditorium, her gaze abruptly snaps back. But she quickly gets a hold of herself, giving a perfect curtsy to the audience. She does not give a tedious thank you closing speech, but rather holds that pose for a very long time, until the golden glitter has fallen and the audience starts making their way out. Oh, this is not the construct yet. When the last member of the audience leaves, she straightens up, glances around the auditorium, then instantly dashes off in a certain direction. Run! Please wait! The construct to whom she called out slowly turns around looking at her. The construct is not just like the rest of the audience with their polished shoes and snowy white embroidered shirts, not to mention tuxedos. Standing right in front of her is a completely ordinary construct. He wears the standard construct outfit, completely at odds with the opulence of the opera house. This is one of the guests specially invited for this opera performance. Besides civilians, the opera house occasionally gives out tickets to military soldiers to thank them for their hard work and service. Oh, I guess she was expecting the commandant. At Selena, the librettist's behest, a few tickets for this performance have even been reserved for construct soldiers. What do you want? There is no formality from him whatsoever. In fact, he comes across as pretty rude. It is as if the person standing before him is not the youngest, most talented librettist in Babylonia, but a nameless foot soldier. Was there some aspect of the performance that you were unsatisfied with? Oh, does my opinion warrant the attention of a genius librettist? Do you artists actually plan to gather feedback from every member of the audience until all of you receive his praise? That's not what I meant. I just wanted to know why you didn't applaud just now. She quickly realizes what she has just blurted out. Anyone listening would think that it is no different from what the construct has said. If anything, it has come across as even more arrogant. So she stops, and instead looks fixedly into his eyes. Applaud that fabricated fantasy opera? The construct snorts in derision. What's so funny? I thought this reward from the military was something special, but I didn't expect it to be a ticket to watch such an insulting show in this hellhole. And now, the one who made this insulting and humiliating performance is standing here asking me why I'm seething. Is there anything more ironic than this? I don't understand what you mean, and I didn't mean to offend you. The presumptuousness of your opera is offensive enough. What is it about that opera that angered you? Please tell me. Then let me ask you, what is it that you were trying to say with your opera? Did you intend to praise the fearlessness of the hero, to praise the greatness of war, or did you want to express your condescending sympathy and so-called compassion for those who gave their lives? Condescending sympathy and compassion. No, don't even try to deny it. The true intentions of the creator can always be seen in their work. You should know this better than me, a mere fighter. I was not sure. That's why I'm here. I was hoping to get your opinion. Oh my god, Selena's face turned. She looked mad. I know you had first-hand experience of the retreat, and I just wanted to get your approval. The soldier lets out another snort. Haha. You ask why I wouldn't applaud? Why don't you go back and look at the stage you built? I wanted to create a scene of post-war ruins on that magnificent opera stage. So you carved bullet holes in the plaster and chiseled out cracks. I can see that you spared no effort in setting it all up and making it perfect. Yes, it's perfect. It's so beautiful indeed. You remade a ruined pantheon, but not the ruins of a battlefield. You didn't know that the ruins should have borne scorch marks and be adorned with mottled blood and broken limbs scattered about. Your ruins are respectable and clean, just like your pitiful imagination, that's all. It bears no resemblance to war. Do you really think that when you're out on the front lines, the world is still as orderly as it is in Babylonia? It would be utterly impossible for that grand funeral service you had in your show to actually happen on the front lines. And the eulogy with accompanying funeral music? We don't even have the time to attend to the cries of the living, so how on earth would we have the time to comfort the dead? If it were just these superficial things, I wouldn't be losing my temper like this. He suddenly raises his voice as if to question. What were you trying to convey with the final scene? Selena takes a step back. While she did write every line of the opera herself, and the show has just ended, for some reason she struggles to recall what happened in that scene. It has all been a blur to her. She only vaguely remembers that she had the dying soldiers on Earth wishing the soldiers who left Earth well. A death without regrets, a sacrifice without bitterness, and with a prayer for the future. It was the most dignified, perfect curtain call she could think of. Oh yeah, I remember the scene earlier where the soldier was praying for the other soldiers' wellness. Yeah, I don't think that happens in war. Farewell, my dear comrade. May your future be filled with light and love. The soldier imitated every word in the sing-song lilt of the opera singer, mimicking even the cadence, as if to mock her. This was the most ridiculous opera I've ever seen. Those who were forcibly abandoned and had no choice but to accept their deaths, wishing a group of cowards fleeing their homeland well? What the hell is this joke? Is there anything more insulting than this? Only those like you who were born in Babylonia and have lived such pampered lives would be able to come up with such ridiculous comedy. Listen up. What you're putting on is nothing but a comedy. That shouldn't even have been performed at all. Your entire story is nothing but a fantasy. Unlike you, I have lived through that era. I had to forsake my flesh, my humanity, and my dignity for a future, to be allowed into Eden. I became a construct, but whenever I close my eyes, all that appears in my mind is the wailing cries of those who died. My family died on Earth. Whoa. He starts giving his own story. What the fuck? I wasn't able to hold their hands as they died, but in their last moments, all they held in their eyes was only hatred, not your so called blessing. Damn, that's tough. Those who were abandoned had only hatred, and those who fled had only remorse. This Eden arose from enmity and countless corpses. People would die just like the animals in that war, meaninglessly. Without faith, without glory, and most definitely without forgiveness and blessing. There's just hatred and anger that knows no bounds. Damn. Why did we have to face all of that? Why did it have to be us who were there? Why did we get to a point when we were forced to destroy everything? Only when life becomes nothing more than just statistics will you understand the horrors of war. When humans can no longer continue being humans, only then will you understand the helplessness war brings. We abandoned the people we were supposed to protect, then turn around and seek a respite from our suffering through shows like this, all to satisfy our need for a pseudo empathy and egoism. You, a person who's never seen hell, who's never been on the brink of death, sing praises of war and peace in a place like this, and you dare ask why I didn't applaud? I have never seen a eulogizing opera more arrogant than yours. Forgive me for taking my leave, for it's taken every ounce of my willpower to speak to you with such dignity and courtesy, and I have none left. Without a second thought, the soldier returns and departs, leaving Selena standing alone in the empty square. But I guess this was a change of perspective to her, you know? And there she stands for the longest time, her countenance never showing the slightest hint of being offended despite the insults. She keeps her head tilted upward and her eyes closed, and finally lets out a deep sigh. Selena is not sure how she managed to get home. Her parents are preparing to celebrate the success of their daughter's first opera. Her family is celebrating joyously, while she, having locked herself in her room, has never felt more alone. In the stillness of her room, her heartbeat is the only thing that she can hear. Oh, that's why she said that when Commandant wasn't able to attend the opera, she did send another letter where she states that the opera was trash, basically. Of course, the Commandant would understand that too, because the Commandant's a soldier. The soldier's words are on constant replay in her mind and the weight upon her heart. She feels as if her heart is about to leap out of her chest. She wants to pour her heart out to someone, and she knows that no matter how battered and messed up she felt, her best friend Isla will willingly lend a listening ear. But she only knows without a doubt that this is her pain to bear, and she is the only one who can deal with it. Arrogant, arrogant. She repeats the word to herself over and over, turning it over in her mouth, as if attempting to chew it into bits and swallow it. Selena closes her eyes. Why did she space out for so long then? Even to the point of forgetting to close with a thank you speech. Now she remembers it. It was not because she was nervous, but because she was ashamed. The accus- Let me just drink. The accusatory light pours through the dome above, showering the guilty with its brilliance, leaving them nowhere to hide. She knew she was guilty for the moment she saw the last judgment mural on the dome. That arrogance was rooted in every fiber of her being. She finally knows why she could not recall her state of mind when writing those librettos. Oh, music is dead again. Because there was none. There was no state of mind to speak of, nor was there any deep contemplation whatsoever. It was her first time coming up with her own libretto without referencing existing librettos. It was her decision to select an unfamiliar era as the subject, which she then used as a canvas to arrogantly depict her fantasy of humanity's glory. Even in the early stages of her writing, she already had the faint sense that something was wrong. That was why she stood anxiously on stage and when receiving the applause, because she was not deserving of it. When her gaze fell upon the motionless, imposing construct soldier who continued seating, coldly serving the people applauding around him, that anxiety finally grew into an uncontrollable wave of shame that ran down her spine. She was so ashamed that she did not dare look up for a long time. She has always loved opera and music from a young age. In the beginning, she had to use robots to perform the operas she wrote and directed in a small exhibition. She never imagined then that her operas could one day be performed on a real stage by real performers. Dreams coming true should have been a joyous occasion. But as she stands on the stage, receiving the praise heaped on her, all there is in her heart is but an endless, empty void. Why were they crying? Why were they cheering? What was it about this hollow opera that moved them? She could not understand at all, for she did not put anything into it. What else was she thinking of? Oh, yes, that it was truly unimaginable. It was unimaginable that beyond those walls was the most advanced floating city the world had ever seen. But within those walls was an extravagant and excessively old world opera house. It fulfilled the fantasies humanity of this era had of classical elegance. It was as if they could gain a small peek into the magnificence of history and soak up what is left of that era just by being in the opera house. There is always a polarity to extremities. The more humanity and technology advance, the more people look to the old world for symbols of nobility. That which is scarce is always more precious. This law always holds true. It is precisely because resources are scarce that beauty created from the accumulation of such limited resources can be so resplendent, so dazzling. She used to yearn, she used to yearn with all her heart to be there. Everything beautiful gave her indescribable heart palpitations then. When her eyes landed on the columns with the Divine Comedy sculpture relief, she finally understood where the heart palpitations were coming from. She heard the low growl of the beasts masked by the sound of loud cheering. It was a wolf, a lion, a cheetah. They were the beasts within. It was from that moment that she vaguely started to see the truth behind the glitz and the glamour. The final curtsy was not one of gratitude, but rather one of prayer. It was not a prayer, or to be more precise, it was not just a prayer. It had nothing to do with religious etiquette. Rather, it was simply the final farewell by the most devout believer to the beliefs she held dearest. And in the next moment, she dashed out of the opera house after that soldier, because now that she knew her sin, she recognized that it was he who bestowed the final judgment upon her. Oh, that's nice. I mean, this is like a realization arc. The terminal on her wrist suddenly gives off a fluorescent glow, cutting her thoughts off. It is a confidential mail of a test she did before writing that libretto. To think that they have chosen this time to respond. Selena skims through the meaningless small talk and calmly fixes her gaze on the conclusion. You have a good level of affinity with Tantalum 193. Your construct surgery success rate is judged to be high. Oh, okay. She already wanted to be a construct. Divine Comedy. Eden thanks you for your efforts. You have been brave warriors, and humanity will always remember your glory. It has been a while since she has become a construct, but her days has not been quite as chaotic and dramatic as she has imagined. Most of the WGAA's constructs belongs to the archaeological team and have been nicknamed donkeys by the military's official task force. This is because they are just like the 16th century archaeologists who were embedded into the expeditionary armies. Receiving the highest level of protection, just like a donkey positioned in the center of an infantry formation. What? That's it? The responsibility of the archaeological team is, as their name suggests, archaeology. In essence, they investigate humanity's ancient relics, retrieve them, and then repair them. Selena has never had the opportunity to be in the frontal assault, The two operations she was on were simply to conduct simple investigations on an abandoned satellite nearby. She seldom even gets to fight the corrupted. As such, she is understandably shocked when she gets her mission to investigate the space station. Oh yeah, this was... She tried to have a dance with Commandant, then she didn't attend the dance, the ball, because she had this mission. Alan. Man, he looks like Sephiroth. The space station's trajectory will bring it back into our orbit. The task force would like the archaeological team to take part in this mission and attempt to recycle as much space station data as possible during the battle. Selena, you'll go as well. Oh, that's her frame. Are you sure? Are you not willing? Of course I am. I'm just a bit surprised. I thought I wasn't experienced enough to take part in such a large-scale operation. No, you're experienced enough. Your missions have all been perfectly carried out so far. Few members of the WGAA's archaeological team can match your level of meticulousness and responsibility. Besides, I know that you've always wanted to be on the front lines with the task force constructs. This battle may be a good opportunity for growth, and I am hoping it will give you more experience. Thank you for your generosity, sir. You're welcome. Oh, Selena. I'm curious about something. This may be a bit personal and offensive. Please go ahead, I have nothing to hide. I've seen your resume, or rather, should I say, you caught my attention a long time ago. Your opera once took Babylonia by storm, and the WGAA thought highly of your career. There was no doubt you had real talent and skills. You come from a wealthy family and your future was incredibly bright. There was nothing compelling you to be a construct. So why did you become a construct and join the archaeological team? Don't get me wrong, members of the archaeological team can continue to engage in their previous pursuits. It's just that there are archaeological tasks to be performed regularly, and so the amount of time you can spend on operas is much less than before. I doubt you've given up the opera. You're not the fickle sort. So what was it that made you choose to pick up a weapon? This should have been a completely simple archaeological operation. How did it end up like this? While exploring the space station deeper, an archaeology team member accidentally unlocked the outer electromagnetic lock. So this is once in a lifetime opportunity. The task force has adjusted the battle objective immediately with the decision to probe further into space station. After all, any information this space station may provide could become a key turning point in the war against the punishing virus. They should have turned back on seeing the cross-shaped enemies. Unfortunately, hindsight is 2020. They stumbled upon the deepest area and learned the truth behind the space station. In the center of the gigantic circular space station is a geometric core giving off a faint blue light instead of a gravitational core. It has been going through a repetitive cycle of splitting and converging. What is that? Is it a corrupted archaeological team? Check the database. I've already compared it to the existing data and there are no matches found. Similar to the previously encountered cross-shaped terminals, they are a new type of enemy that Babylonia has never encountered before. The blue geometric core makes a humming sound as if it had just woken up. It slowly begins to convert its outer shell like a beast that has become aware that there were trespassers on its territory. Watch out. It looks like it's about to attack. Okay. Ooh. Should I go here? Yeah, I guess so. Whoa, 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 last gasp. Man, I don't look like the frame earlier. Oh my gosh. It looks like you're getting fried there, bro. Arai. I mean, it's better to die, I guess.
コンダクターを
Whoa, is this some new music? That's nice. There's no way our weapons can penetrate its armor. It's so dense. What is that thing made of? Even if we can penetrate its armor, we should at least break off a piece of that shell. We have to bring a sample of it back to Babylonia. A task force construct suddenly gives a huge roar and dashes toward the deadly being with his weapon held high. It came as no surprise when a dazzling light burst from the geometric core, instantly engulfing the construct. Dead. However, his final attack also lands heavily on the geometric core stick shell. The soldiers, all out, stone-shattering attack manages to break off a corner of the geometric core. The clear blue shard silently lands on the circular platform. Ugh, damn it all to hell! A purple shadow flashes past him. Is that Camus? Selena. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Selena right now. Her frame does resemble purple. Selena picks up the shard, and just before the next attack hits, she jumps up and flips to a higher ground, dodging the deadly laser. I got it. Good work. Retreat. Oh, they were able to retreat. How many casualties do we have? It's not looking good. Everyone's been injured, and there are 5 members who have. That's enough. I get it. Task force members, listen up. Your priority is to protect the archaeology team members as they retreat. Hold on, my radar is detecting activity signals from a huge number of enemies. Captain, I'm detecting it too. There are about. Selena calmly helps him finish the terrifying number. Over 300, but the signals are all clustered together, so it's not necessarily accurate. Damn it! Were we steering up the hornet's nest? Do they want the shard back? Even an elephant would be bitten to death by these bugs. The original plan still stands. We'll need to update the details. Team, I will fan out a clear path. Team 2 will fan out and cover the rear. Team 3 will be in the middle, protecting those with serious injuries. Archaeology team members follow Team 3. We can fight too. Selena's right, we can fight too. The task force captain looks at Selena. Selena, was it? I remember your name. Now I know you can fight. But your priority is to bring the intelligence and samples together to Babylonia and tell the Science Council what happened here in the space station. We are the task force. We have a duty to protect members of non-combat team as they retreat. Orders given, he looked at everyone present. Do you understand your mission? Yes, sir. What happened next is even more cruel than the depiction of hell in the Divine Comedy. If they were all guilty, such a tribulation would be reasonable. But they are all doing this for survival of the human race. That is why they disregard their own safety and are determined to give it all they have got. The path they've cleared is a hard-earned, bloody one, made possible through the sacrifice of countless lives. Wave after wave of enemies fall upon them. At first, they could be slayed one by one, but as their numbers increased, the constructs could no longer work together to hold the formation. They resort to using their bodies to form a wall, resisting the never-ending waves of enemy attacks. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting. We've encountered an unknown form of vanishing virus entity in the space station. We are retreating with a sample shard, but more enemies are headed our way. Requesting backup. Over. No response. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting. We have encountered an unknown form of vanishing virus in the space station. We are retreating with a sample shard, but more enemies are headed our way. Requesting our backup for blah. No response. Why is there purple? This is Selena reporting. Her words are interrupted by vital fluid splashing on her face. No! She almost stops, but a tremendous force shoves her forward. Don't just stand there. Don't let your companion's sacrifice be in vain. Keep going. There are only 12 more compartments. We can break through the encirclement. Eden is with us. Her legs are quaking uncontrollably, and she is numb with fear, but she still tries her hardest to stay calm and call for help. This is Selena reporting a casualty rate of 27%. We have 8 compartments left before the exit. Please arrange for pickup. Over. Oh, they were okay. So there are no there are no transport. The team that had been clearing the path has been completely obliterated, or there would not be so many broken limbs on the ground. My gosh, she's still repeating. Babylonia reporting a casualty rate of 35%. We have 6 compartments left before the exit. Please arrange for pickup. Over. The team in charge of covering the rear has also gone silent, and none of the team members has caught up with them. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting. Casualty rate of 63%. We have 4 compartments left before the exit. Please arrange for pickup. Over. What is she doing? Even the third team is down to just a few task force members. Selena forces herself not to think about whether she is stepping on an enemy's body or a team member's body. She has no time to think about these things until the archaeological team is forced to draw their weapons and charge into battle as well. Until the task force captain falls before her eyes. Selena. The task force captain, who has been in front of her all this while, took a mortal blow that was meant for her. While he did manage to stab the enemy's electronic brain with his backhand at the last minute, It was too late for him. A large part of his head was sliced off, and his visual reception system was completely destroyed. Please save your strength. Vital fluid seeps out from the holes in his body with each vibration of his speech module. How many deadly attacks has he endured? I need to say this. I'm sorry we couldn't get you out, but Selena, the shard you're carrying may be a critical key, and you must get it back to Babylonia no matter what the cost. Yes, I promise you I'll see that. I've said what I have to. Keep going, don't stop her. I think she's gonna die here. The sacrifice of more and more lives weighed down upon her, and every step forward feels increasingly heavy. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting. Reporting a casualty rate of 83%. We have 3 compartments left before the exit. Please arrange for pickup. She's not saying over anymore. Oh my gosh. The last archaeology team member falls before her. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting. Reporting a casualty rate of 94%. I have 2 compartments left before the exit. Please arrange for. No response from Babylonia. Keep going, Selena. Almost there. Just a little further. Don't collapse. Is there gonna be a video here or something? Or is it not loading? I'll drink first. Am I supposed to click? Okay. Babylonia, this is Selena reporting casualty rate of 99%. I have 1 compartment left before the exit. She strikes with her weapon, knocking back a cross-shaped enemy. Covered with injuries, she finally stands before the last door. Please arrange for pickup, I beg you. Please, I beg you. Her comm switch has last contact all this while finally connects. But before she can pick up, the final decision was handed down. This is Babylonia's interim relay satellite. The following message was left by Babylonia 15 minutes ago. The battle was estimated to have been completed 30 minutes ago. Unfortunately, as Babylonia has been unable to contact your unit, our calculations show that the likelihood of your unit's survival is close to 0. Wow, thank you for saying that, piece of shit. Babylonia's anti-air resources have been stretched thin, and we are unable to continue this battle of attrition with the space station. Due to strategic resource allocation considerations, will be unable to allocate backup for our troops with no likelihood of survival. Babylonia adjusted its orbital altitude 15 minutes ago to avoid contact with the space station. If any survivors receive this message, know this. Eden thanks you for your efforts. Cliche fucking shit. You have been brave warriors and humanity will always remember your glory. What the fuck? For a moment, it is completely silent. I mean, that's the moment you know you're fucked up. Then... nabaliw na siya. She gone crazy. Selena's legs give out and she sinks to her knees, letting out her first ever cry in anguish. my gosh, that was just the story 2. Pause. That's the greatest honor I have ever received. This one too for ya. Selena does not know how long has she knelt there for. For a moment, she forgets she isn't human anymore, but a construct. Why does she feel sick to her stomach? Why are there tears streaming from her eyes? Why have they been abandoned? This must be her punishment. My family died on Earth. I wasn't able to hold their hands as they died. But in their last moments, all they held in their eyes was only hatred, not your so-called blessing. Yeah, normally a soldier would say, in her imagination, my final wishes is for you to have a good blessing, blah blah blah, good life. But no, you're not gonna think of that when you're about to die. Those who were abandoned had only hatred, and those who fled had only remorse. This Eden arose from enmity and countless corpses. People would die just like animals in that war, meaninglessly. Without faith, without glory, and most definitely without forgiveness and blessing. There's just hatred and anger that knows no bounds. Damn, why did we have to give? Why did we have to face all of that? Why did it have to be us who were there? Why did we get to a point when we were forced to destroy everything? The soldier was right. The only thing she feels at this moment is rage and hatred. Yeah, because they were left behind. Why have they been abandoned? They've been fighting for humanity all this while. So why have they been abandoned? She now knows what a hideous thing rage is. Only when life becomes nothing more than just statistics will you understand the horrors of war. When humans can no longer continue being humans, only then will you understand the helplessness war brings. She understands. She finally understands now. Only at this moment, when she is on the receiving end of it all, does she understand the anguish that laid beneath the soldier's accusatory words. The words of Alan, the WJAA leader, rings in her ears. Your opera once took Babylonia by storm, and the WGAA thought highly of your career. There was no doubt you had real talent and skills. You come from a wealthy family and your career is supposed to be as bright as diamond. There is no compelling reason for you to be a construct. So why did you become a construct and join our archaeological team? She did not know how to respond to Alan then, but the answer is as clear as day now. It is because of her arrogance. That arrogance is rooted in every fiber of her being. She had depicted a hell that did not exist, eulogized false ideas of war and peace, and extolled her perceived ideas of humanity's glory. What shameless arrogance that was. She had an epiphany during the soldier's rebuke and was determined to redeem herself for her arrogance that made her determined to become a construct. Because as a construct, she would one day have the chance to step onto a real battlefield, to truly experience hell for herself, and with that, she would personally compose a reality that no one can find fault with. It was not until she was truly in hell that she realized how arrogant her so called notion of redemption was. To think she became a construct for such a foolish reason. To think she entered the battlefield for such stupidity. Well, kinda stupid, I guess. It was wrong of her. She knew that now. She should not have left her comfortable and cozy home for such naive and frivolous reasons of her half-baked epiphany. What significance did the art that she dearly loved have? What significance did those operas and music hold that she had her fought so hard for them till this point? What this place needs are weapons that can eliminate enemies and zealousness that can end wars. Her ludicrous beliefs about art are nothing but self-reassurance, no different from self-paralysis. She can now see the error of her ways. Please, somebody, save me. Please, anybody, take me away from here. Such sweet thoughts flooded her mind. She has to get out of here. She has to get out of here. She has to get out of here. There is nowhere to run. Another rustling sound came from the other end of the corridor. She instinctively stands up, alert to the crisis at hand. She holds on the door for support and looks behind her. A maroon light pulses in the darkness. The enemies gathered and packed the corridor tightly, their eyes on the geometric core shard in her arms. Perhaps death in battle here will be a form of deliverance after all. The thought flashed through her mind, but is suppressed by another. I'm sorry we couldn't get you out, but Selena, that shard you're carrying may be a critical key, and you must get it back to Babylonia, no matter what the cost. And what of it? Babylonia has abandoned them. There's nowhere to go back anymore. You must get back to Babylonia no matter what the cost. Damn. I must get back to Babylonia no matter what the cost. She is repeating what she hears in her mind, partly trying to convince herself. I must get back to Babylonia, what the cost. The enemy pounces on her at the very moment. With one hand, she slams her weapon into the floor hard, and with the other, opens the airlock. Ooh. The vacuum of space sucks everything in the entire corridor. Selena holds onto her weapon's handle for dear life to avoid being sucked into space with the enemies. She is stuck in the exit with a large number of mechanoids slam into her before being swept away. She can only grit her teeth in pain. Selena looks in the direction they have been sucked in. And sure enough, there is nothing outside. There is no spaceship to meet them. Only stars that seem permanently sewn into the backdrop of the cosmos. They are so far away. And so they are everlasting. Selena turns away, and once all enemies in the corridor has been sucked out, she closes the airlock with great difficulty. Wow. I must find a way to check if there are any survivors. She drags her very injured body back the way she came. Selena did not expect that he would be alive. Oh, there's someone alive? To think he can still be alive in this state. His limbs are all gone except for his left hand. Half his head and the components within it are missing as well. And it is surprising that the broken speech module is still able to operate at a minimal level. When the archaeological team left, he was not damaged to this extent. A fierce battle must have occurred here after that. Who are? It seems his sound reception module is still functioning. Even under such circumstances, it is able to pick up her footsteps. Selena walks to his side and gently kneels beside him. With her hand, she gently holds his broken arm. Palm. It's me. He chokes back a sob, answering him gently and confidently. Oh, it's you from the archaeological team. Selena? Was it? His voice, like it comes from a rusted windpipe, intermittent and with a quality similar to a steel wire scratching against an iron plate. Why did you come back? Did backup come? No, they didn't. Babylonians abandoned us. We've been betrayed. For a second, she cannot control the tears flooding her eyes, and so she tilts her head upward so that they would not fall. It is strange indeed. Why is it that even though they have already given up their human bodies, they still have to keep their mind stable by simulating exclusively human physiological systems? Why is it that even though they've become constructs, they are still able to leave their human weakness behind? Unable to leave. Yes, backup has arrived. Don't worry, everyone is being saved. Oh my god, she just lied. That's really great. But why don't I hear any footsteps? Lying begets more lying. Perhaps your sound reception module has been damaged and is not picking up more distant sounds. But don't worry, the medics will come and take you away soon. We're constructs. We just have to switch a new body and we'll be fine. The information and sample have been delivered. She repeats herself to make her words more convincing. Oh my god. Don't worry, they have been delivered. If he cannot be saved, at least let him pass on without regrets. Okay. His hand starts quivering. That is when Selena realized that he has seen through her lies. Oh my god, the change of music, oh my gosh. But they have both chosen to remain silent. Thank you. I have done nothing to deserve your thanks. Rather, it is I who should be thanking you for saving me then. The construct shakes his head with great difficulty. When your team called you Selena, I remember why I seem to have seen you before. Oh my goodness, is this the guy back then? It was at Babylonia's Opera House, wasn't it? Oh my god. I remember you were holding an opera performance there. There was a scene where Aria was accompanying music, sung a cappella style. That's why your voice was so familiar. I thought it was strange. You were human then. Why did you suddenly become a construct? I didn't recognize you immediately. You fooled me. That's why I'm here with you now. Selena is caught off guard that a stranger knows about her past and freezes. As if ashamed, she replies, "Those are just some things not worth mentioning. There's nothing not worth mentioning. I remember it clearly. That was the requiem for the dying protagonist." His words brought her back to the time in her past, a time that she has buried deep in her heart. Do you really think that when you're out of on the front lines, the world is still as orderly as it is in Babylonia? It would be utterly impossible for that grand funeral service you had in your show to actually happen in the front lines. In the eulogy, with accompanying funeral music, we don't even have time to attend to the cries of the living, so how on earth would we have the time to comfort the dead? There are too many who died, just like the stars in the night sky. No one remembers their names, nor the place where they fell. It was utter nonsense and hopeless naivety to dedicate a requiem to the death of a single soldier. That was what that soldier had told her then. She was so ashamed of her ignorance then that the accusation haunted her even her dreams. Why was she composing songs? Why was she writing librettos? Why was she singing? And now why is she fighting? She did not know. Oh, even now, as you lie on the brink of death, you've chosen to condemn her naivety? It was just like her encounter with that soldier all over again. She purses her lips, closes her eyes, and waits to be judged. But judgment does not come. Before that, I always thought when humans died, there was nothing left. When a construct is broken, they are just scrap metal. No one remembers. I thought no one would care, but you sang for him. Selena is taken aback. That was the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my entire life. This guy is lying. Just kidding. She suddenly feels the urge to stop him from going on. It was nothing but a lame method of expression. An important character in the opera had died so naturally, it necessitated an aria to give voice to the emotions. It was just an awkward, presumptuous eulogy. Please don't go on. It was just her childish fantasy. Nothing more than wishful thinking on her part. That is what she is about to say before he interrupts her. Just naivety. But it was truly beautiful. If everything was really like that, How nice would that be? I'm sorry. We didn't fight hard enough. That's why someone like you has to come to a place like this and encounter such situations. But could you sing for me that song you sang back then? It will be my honor. The tears that have been welling up in her eyes finally fall as she gently kisses the back of the construct's broken hand. She has been plagued by self doubt for a long time, never finding the answers she has been looking for. To think that at a time like this, in a place like this, and from another in the same position as her, she has found redemption flooding in. That's the greatest honor I have received, sir. There are some differences between a construct's voice module and a human's throat, so she fumbles a little at first. But she quickly gets the hang of it. Man, I'm not gonna sing there. If it were me. But because someone might hear. But she quickly gets the hang of it. Producing the most beautiful sounds possible is an instinct she was born with. She croons for a long time, a very, very long time, until the tears on her face have dried. Whoa. Okay, 4. She was now a vessel that contained the legacy of everyone in the Force, Advanced Force. Man, this part is kind of long. Until the construct she is holding in her arms is no longer emitting activity signals, Selena lays him down gently, then leaves the room of dead bodies without looking back. She has to survive. No matter what happened, she has to survive. Even if Babylonia has raised its orbital altitude to avoid contact with space station, there will still be a period of a longitude intersection when a comms connection is possible. If she can find the space station's communications room and input her own signal into the disruptive white noise constantly being emitted by the space station, someone is bound to notice her distress signal one day and come to her rescue. There are still people waiting for her to come back. Her parents, her best friend. She still has a lot of unfinished business. There is no way she can wither and die alone in a place like this. She cannot lose hope. She has to turn in the intelligence report. From the moment her comrades sacrificed their lives to pave her way forward, her life is no longer hers alone. She is now a vessel containing the legacy of everyone in the Advanced Force. She walks to the outer part of the station. Soon, the Advanced Force passed through this area while exploring deeper into the station, and she vaguely recalls a communications room is somewhere nearby. Before her stands a locked automatic door. This must be one of the important doors of the space station. A very high level of authority is needed to access it. Selena makes several attempts to crack the code on the lock, an action she has done many times before, but finds that she does not possess sufficient computing power after several attempts. After confirming she is strong enough to destroy it, Selena swings her weapon at it. Iron gate slams down with a loud bang, and instantly a broadcast is made throughout the entire space station. Broadcast. Korolev would like to issue a gentle reminder to children visiting the space station. Please follow the rules and regulations and listen to your guide. What is Korolev? Please take care of public facilities. Selena is shocked by what she is hearing. Children who vandalize and destroy space station's facilities will be punished. Series of vendors will be separated from their parents for 1 week and placed in a correctional facility. From behind her came the sudden sound of a mechanical limbs hitting the ground. The broadcast echoing throughout the space station has an actual source after all. Selena turns to the source of the sound. Ooh, that looks riot. Dear children, we are now demonstrating how the immune system of the human body works. The viruses that enter. A giant spherical corrupted appears behind Selena. With just a glance, Selena has already ascertained the huge difference in power between her and the enemy. This is a corrupted she cannot hope to defeat alone. In every circuit in her body screams. Every secret in Selena's body screams at her to flee, and flee she does. This is what will happen to it, captured and destroyed by immune cells. Man, damn. About to die again. Oh my gosh. I need to leave this place as soon as possible. Must not let the Corla fight me. I must bring the shard back to the Babylonians just a little longer. I must stay strong at the last moment. Defeat enemies? Inspect the device. What device? Is this one? Oh, this one. It looks corrupted. Is this a terminal to control the electronic lock? Operating. Great, my computing power can open it. I can't waste time on these beings. What? Oops, sorry. Operating. The door is closed. Safe at last. Ta-da! I think Raya's in here. Immune cell has found a germ. So she's gonna die, yeah. Orlev would like to issue a gentle reminder to children visiting the space station. Please follow the rules and regulations and listen to your guide. Children who fail to follow the instructions will be threatened as invading germs. Next, I shall demonstrate how an immune cells... okay. These are invading germs. Okay. I am treated as an invading germ. Okay, I'm supposed to die. Man. What up, Korolev? The edge. No matter if she has a corrupted cold, Korolev is always hot on her trail and always finds her. She tries fighting but fails miserably, convincing her that she has no hope defeating an enemy like this. Eventually, she somehow coincidentally finds herself in the place she was looking for, the communications room. Inside the communications room, the strenuous movements have caused Selena's vital fluid to seep out of every opening, and she can feel that her body, which is already approaching its limit, is about to fall apart. She musters her remaining strength to barricade the entrance with what she can find and staggers over to the communications station. Access granted. Thank goodness. There is, however, no joy in those words. The giant corrupted is frenziedly slamming against the barricade. Is this the end of the road for me? In her hurry, she can only load the data she is subconsciously most familiar with into the space station's disruptive signal. If Ayla gets this, she'll definitely understand it. Selena smiles bitterly. If it is her best friend, Ayla, I'm sorry. A huge force sends the barricade flying down as Korolev steps into the narrow compartment. In the time she takes to prepare for battle, Korolev manages to cover the distance between them. Her weapon snaps under the impact of Korolev's attack. There is a loud bang as Korolev hurls Selena against the wall. Korolev does not give her time to catch her breath and slams its robotic arm down onto her back. The robot is not small, but it sure is nimble. When visiting the space station, please follow the rules and regulations and listen to your guide. Children who vandalize and destroy space station facilities will be punished. I finally got you. You are a very disobedient child. You not only have vandalized the facilities, you have also stolen valuable public property. Come on, return what you stole to Korolev. A child who owns up to their mistakes is a good child. What is the goal of this corrupted? She glances down at the geometric core shard in her hands. No, this one thing I can never hand over to you. Selena started to struggle again, and with her final desperate burst, she managed to shake the AI robot off her. Taking advantage of the robot's attempt to stabilize itself on its robotic legs, she dodged to the corner of the room. I must protect the shard. This came at the cost of the entire advanced forces sacrifice. What should I do? Korolev is blocking the entrance and her weapon has been destroyed. It's a desperate situation with no chances of survival. At the very least, I must. Selena's eyes narrow. In an instant, she turns to the pointy end of the shard toward her chest and stabs it straight in. What? She turns to the pointy end of the shard. What? Stabs it straight in? A child who doesn't own up to their mistakes is a naughty child. Korolev, who had regained its balance, looked at Selena, who had the shard hidden in her chest. It charged towards her, once again crushing her left arm with its own. The item you stole, where did you hide it? Pain signals flooded Selena's mind. Ugh. Are you the space station's AI? Being a corrupted, it obviously was not able to answer her. To have become what you are, it's truly tragic. Korolev has always been like this. What are you talking about? You're just a puppet of the punishing virus. The corrupted before her was supposed to be the guidance AI of the space station. To make it more approachable to the children, its words and actions were programmed to be as innocent as of those child. The robotic arm pinning her down even bears childish graffiti left by children who used to visit. And now it's nothing more than a killing machine. A good child doesn't gossip about others. But Korolev is forgiving. Just hand it over. If you don't, Korolev will activate punishing mode. According to the rules and regulations of the space station, Korolev has the right to use minimal levels of violence. Selena observes it calmly. What's the matter? Why aren't you moving? Very well. The following demonstration will serve as a warning to the children of repercussion on the repercussion of not following the rules and regulations. The priority is to get the thief to return the stolen object to the owner. Oh my god. Two robotic arms suddenly crush her left arm and rip it off. The pain from her having her arm ripped off is so great that Selena could not stop herself from crying out. She cannot think. It looks like the thief didn't hide the item in her left hand. What the fudge? Then let's take a look at another body part. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. Okay, that was 1 to 4. Okay, let's go check main story chapter 9. Main story chapter 9. Chapter 9. Oh, this one. Selena appeared since normal 913 and hidden. Oh, there's a lot of them, okay. I don't wanna use some serums though. Now, all squads immediately blah blah blah. Fire! It's here, boom! The high energy beam travels through the opening in the gravity room, landing on the punishing virus heteromer core with pinpoint precision. It burns and eats, blah blah blah. All the members of Babylonia and troops fix their eyes upon this sight. Is it over? A cube, crisscross in black and red, introduces itself in the center of the platform. That's its true form. What the hell? It was just a shell? I just wanna read where Selena is, so we'll skip this. Huh. So okay, we'd have to fight this thing. Wait, what? Why am I on a jet? Okay, I don't remember this part. Ooh, what? Ouch. So we just have to kill him. Fire resistance decrease, lighting resistance decrease. Three, two, oh my gosh. Okay, it's about to die. Or unless there's a phase 2. Okay. Mr. Watanabe, enter Crystal Gallery. Work dancing, blah blah blah. Watanabe pushes the lever to the limit. The aircraft heaves itself like a dying animal and turns. Yet, in mere seconds later, the missiles collide with the heteromer core. Where's Watanabe's signal? Signal's gone off, along with the signals of the Forsakens. In another corner of space station, okay, this scene looks like from Selena's. Oh my god. That doesn't look like Selena at all. Her brown hair is different. Yeah, I remember her limb was broken. But I didn't know her lower body was taken out. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, Gabe-kun. Show up. Unfortunately, your fate is not in your own hands. Selena. Gabriel peels his eyes away from the broken construct, or what was left of Selena, in his arms. Oh, okay, Gabriel took him. I took her. Initiating punishing relay communication channel. Gabriel, how did it go? Target construct successfully captured. Both the corruption rate and functionality are in line with our estimates. Very well. Roland and I will wait for you at the scheduled location. Ugh. He cannot last too long, you know. Don't be late. Understood. What about the other side? Sister has started moving. Understood. Connection cuts off. Gabriel blah blah blah. He adjusted Selena's post, then closes the gate and presses the launch button. Meanwhile, somewhere on Earth, the last uninfected Eternal engine is speeding across a sea of sands. Meteors fall from the dark blue sky, raining fire onto where the train is headed. The scorching heat turns the surface of the cabins into a different sheen. The two silhouettes watch the heavenly catastrophes from blah blah blah. It's a signal strings about to be pulled. Okay, we'll skip this part. There's no more Selena. Oh shit! Oh, never mind. I should have stopped the... I just used some cereal fudge. Isla is on the space station. The light flickers on and off, dull, low battle signs, blah blah blah. Phew. I'll inhale a deep breath, starting focus, trying to sense any possible signal from Selena. Lines from the Tempest. As predicted. Nice lines from the Tempest. Selena, can you hear me? From the Tempest. I'll try to communicate source communication message, but receive no reply. Maybe Selena could not receive signals. That must be it. It's okay, I will find you and I will bring you back. Keep it up, Selena. Keep singing. Isla picks up her scythe and starts running. Oh no. I can hear her voice. It's clear and close. Finally, we can make it again, Selena. Just hang on for a moment. Keep singing. Those were... I didn't know she has a shield. Oh. The tremor, the space station is breaking up. It can't keep going like this. Not only Selena, but the other troops will also have to come up with a solution. Approach the Heteromer terminal. I should be able to access control system by that. It seems pretty old style. Although I cannot modify it directly, it should be good enough for now. Okay, next. That's only it. He was just trying to find her. Phew. Relax and focus on Selena's voice. Boom, boom. What was that? Boom. Initiating connection. Isla. Emergency comms approach. Leader, what is it? Approaching. Communications is out. The signal is too poor. But I know time is running out. There is where Selena failed. I must be more cautious. Selena should be nearby. Riot. Oh, this is where he shows up. Intruders. No, you're supposed to say children should follow the rules or something, right? You must buy a sightseeing ticket first. Please buy your ticket at the ticket booth, otherwise a special procedure will be initiated. That's pretty. Do you know where Selena is? Initiating enforcement procedure. Seems I don't have a choice. But I have no time for this. Bring it on. Ouch. I forgot. What up, Riot? So hard to not have a super armor. Higher threat level detected. Abandoned current mission. Go to the location, gravity room. Ah, ran off. Searches and digs around. Oh, got so many rewards. Lose again. Sounds wrong. Here it is. Selena. Isla slashes the closed cabin door a few times, patching it out of shape. And then, ha! She kicks the door. Selena, you there? The interior of the cabin is barely visible under the dimmed emergency lights. A terminal near the wall is still running. It displays many charts and data. Ooh, change music. The terminal's control panel has been ripped off, with a few connectors plugged in. On the other side of the cables. Oh my god. Was the lifeless remains of a half humanoid leaning on the corner. Her hands, she just have one hand, lay limply on the floor, her eyes empty. Life has left her body. Selena. Damn, Isla get to see her destroyed. Isla puts her sight down. She slowly approaches her and crouches down. As she gradually reaches out for her face, the carcass suddenly jerks, as if she had felt Isla. Isla is shocked for a split second, but she regains her composure immediately. The dark eyes of the carcass start to light up. Selena. Selena. Thank goodness you're alive. Selena's sound unit seems to have been damaged. Heavily damaged. Her voice comes out bitter and strange. As if she is concerned about her voice. She no longer makes sounds. Don't worry, Selena. I'll run some checks now, and I'll bring you back. We can get you a new body then. Isla starts to check Selena's various body functions. Fortunately, Selena is a support-type construct, so her infection level was kept under the threshold. Isla believes that Selena's strong will to survive must have also helped. Great, looks like you will last until we get home. Isla looks at Selena, then the terminal that she is connected to. Did you survive only because of the energy from this space station terminal? How Selena struggled through many dark days was beyond Isla's imagination. Right, the song. You connected yourself to the terminal, then added your song into the interference signal broadcasted by the space station. That's how you did it, right? Selena, you must have been waiting for me to notice. I don't know. I don't know if that's meant. Sorry I came too late. I'm bringing you home right now. Wait. Just when Isla is about to unplug Selena from the terminal screen changes. This is the space station's database and surveillance camera footage. Wait, is this the Grey Raven? Grey Raven members can be seen on the ring of the gravity room. They look clueless. Selena, do you want me to help them? But the communication device here isn't functioning. Okay, I'll try to find another terminal nearby. Hope this won't take too long. Yeah, I guess she lasted there. So maybe she can last a few more. Hostile signals? Alright, Selena, just wait a little longer. I'll be right back. The Termer barrier is cleared. I guess there's a new...
ひどい汚れね。あ、手が滑っちゃった。壊れる美しさがあなたにはお似合いよ。これがアートタイム。
The interference is too strong. After wiping out the enemies here, I have to find another terminal as a signal amplifier. In doing so, I can contact Grey Ravens. According to the topographic map, there should be a terminal ahead. Oh man. Found it! But that is not good. Those heteromeres are protecting the terminal and there is a Ropwood guard nearby. I'd better not get close to those cubes. And that robot guard seems to communicate with the terminals in certain ways. In short, I have to activate it. Activate the theropod. Okay, oh my gosh. Wait, what? The virtualization of heteromer. Wait, what? Destroyed the materialized heteromer formation. Oh, okay. Yeah, it works. It seems the heteromers here could be easily deconstructed. Let me see if the terminal works. It is activated. Finally, I can contact Grey Ravens. Isla informs Grey Ravens the gravity room's mechanism and at that moment. Bang! Target sighted, recycling now. Wait, what's that? Isla notices the extremely high corruption level of the tall enemy and realizes what was happening. But just when she starts to attack, Selena is already ripped off the terminal. The enemy turns around and takes Isla's strike with his broad shoulders. Gabe-kun. What? Isla doesn't hesitate for a second, she unleashes numerous attacks with her side. Strangely, the enemy doesn't want to engage the fight, instead he keeps moving back. Once he reaches the cabin door, he leaps toward the gravity room's core area. After bumping into the Grey Raven in the gravity room, Isla follows Gabriel to a shattered floating platform. Boom! Gabriel flips over and fires a shot. He uses the counter force to jump through the opening wall, which is a result of the previous blast. Ugh. After the heat from the explosion dissipates... Oh no, before he gets away I must... Just when Isla is about to follow him, a mechanical claw protrudes from the edge on the platform. The claw continues to climb toward the platform surface, finally revealing itself. Humans must be destroyed. It is Korolev. After the battle with the Grey Raven, it fell into the vacuum turbulence, but somehow managed to survive space. Destroy. Now of all times, ha! Before Korolev could attack again, Isla cuts its remaining structure in half, completely annihilating it. However, she has also wasted precious time. Isla looks at the opening to space. I must hurry. Right this time, a huge beam shoots through the opening and strikes the punishing heteromer directly. The gravity room is a mess. Isla struggles to maintain her balance on the platform. She keeps telling herself one thing. I must not stop, otherwise Selena would. She leaps from one floating platform to the next, jumping, dodging, spinning, and slashing through anything in her way. Finally, Isla makes it out of space station. There are giant explosions on the low Earth orbit in the distance, but Isla has no attention to spare. Selena, still, she was one step too late. The door of the capsule where Gabriel and Selena are in, has closed. The launch procedure has been initiated. Wait, Selena! Isla runs with all her might onto the outer surface of the space station, but the capsule has already taken off. No matter what she does, it only moves further away. Only the heat of the capsule's exhaust flames remains scorching Isla's body. She could only silently watch the capsule as it flies toward the Earth. Earth. Isla mumbles to herself. She already knows her next move. There must still be a chance. Selena, wait for me. Okay. So they'll see at Earth each other.
どうぞ私の膝を枕にしてください。そう、こうやって静かに。
Ah, she is gentle. Okay, that was main story 913 and the hidden story. Next part is the interlude again. Okay. So basically, Gabriel takes us to Earth. Now my charms all overthrown, and what strength I have mine own. What? Selena has a dim recollection of seeing a flower in Babylonia's greenhouse. A real flower. Babylonia rarely wastes precious resources on growing decorative flowers, so the beauty of that purple flower blooming in the greenhouse really stood out. What happened next? Her mind was in such chaos that she was not able to access the next part immediately. Oh, right. It was an excursion organized by the Center of Basic Public Education, so of course, the purpose of the teacher who took them there was certainly not to have them admire the flowers in bloom. The teacher plucked the flower and deconstructed it in front of them. It started with the stalk, and then the base, the sepal, and the corolla. The constructed nameless purple flower lay scattered in the petri dish for the children to examine its every part. Just like her now. Oh my gosh. She got deconstructed. You're being naughty, little thief. Where did you hide the stolen item? Korolev, who had been pulling her apart, suddenly stopped. That maroon visual receptor scans her from top to bottom before abruptly tossing her aside. Oh, little thief, where did you go? It's as if it suddenly cannot see her. It lets out an urgent screeching noise before leaving the communications room. Is it because she has reached such high levels of corruption that it determined she has become a corrupted? She does not know, nor does she need to. She can no longer feel her lower limbs. The only thing left in her mind was ceaseless pain. She did not care. She did not dare cut off the pain signal for fear of mind deviation. She could already feel the geometric core shard buried in her chest, gradually infecting her. All of her computing power is focused on keeping her invert device functioning normally. But the crimson is slowly spreading through her mind. Man, she's getting killed by the virus. When she can see clearly again, Selena finally finds herself in a most familiar place. She is at the virtual exhibition hall, the place where she first had a dream. When she was still a nobody, this was where she was. In a place nobody cared about, alone with her little robots, attempting to restore pieces of opera collected from the remnants of the Golden Age. The Duke of Milan did not seek revenge for the hardship he encountered. Man, why does she look like she has small hands? Instead, he forgave every man who had wronged him after they confessed. Years later, all the things that happened were slowly forgotten. The people of Naples continued to live on a beautiful land as always. Naples was still a place of hope despite the occasional disputes and conflicts. Thank you for watching. This is the end of The Tempest. What's wrong, Ilo? Is there something wrong with it? No, Selena, your operas are always exciting as always. So what exactly is the issue, Ilo? I just don't understand why Duke Prospero was able to forgive Antonio in the end. If it wasn't for Antonio, Prospero and his daughter would have been exiled to the small island, wouldn't he? Would he? Why was he able to forgive him just like that? Hold on. Was there such a line? No, there was not. She sent Isla her restored ending to The Tempest just before she left. She never actually got to hear Isla's opinion. This was but a fantasy of memory and imagination woven together by her mind in its extremely chaotic state. This was her subconscious, endlessly contemplating the issue in her head. This was her subconscious, incessantly inundating with her self-doubt. Why was Prospero able to forgive his brother so easily? His throne was usurped, he almost died, he lost everything, and the pain he carried from having been cast away to a tiny island with his daughter for so many years. Why was he able to forgive someone who had caused him so much pain so easily? Because forgiveness is a virtue, and to forgive others is to forgive yourself. Are you hoping to comfort yourself by coming up with such a righteous reason? Those are nothing but empty words, empty pretty words. You think so too, don't you? There's no need to forgive yourself. You shouldn't forgive yourself for your foolishness. Don't forgive yourself, and don't forgive Babylonia, which has abandoned you. So this is like she's battling something in her mind. You have nothing left, not your bright future, not your ideals in art, not your comrades. You have no tragic past, no fervent belief. Compared to the others, you have no reason to persevere. Why do you persist? Give it all up. All you have to do is come over here and everything will be much easier. Everything. She is right. Looking holistically at all the steps she has taken, her action seems so paltry and feeble. Most of what she has done in the persistence of her naivety. It was all completely meaningless. She was just an utterly ordinary girl. She could not understand what it was that has caused her to persevere to this point. No, it's not like that. Prospero must have despised Antonio. You should understand Prospero's emotions better than anyone else, Selena. He wanted revenge, but at the end of the day, Antonio was his brother, his comrade. The people of Naples were still waiting for him. Selena's eyes flew open. With only half a body left, she is just like a fish on land, struggling to turn over. Now my charms are Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have mine own. Change music. With only half of her left arm left, she uses her fingers to effortlessly inch forward. Her broken figure is striving to crawl forward, which is most faint. Now 'tis true. I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not crack. Her fingers give way. So she opens her mouth and uses her teeth to pull herself forward. Since I have my dukedom got and pardoned the deceiver dwell in this bare island by your spell. She manages to pull herself to a corner. Selena endeavors to connect herself to the space station terminal. In an instant, she sees every corner of the space station. She sees the area's bloodbaths with the advanced force took place, and where the geometric core is, her mind sees everything all at once with unparalleled clarity. It's then that she understands the truth of it all. The punishing virus started off by infecting the gravitational control core, wreaking havoc with the gravity in the space station. The powerful suction force swept the punishing virus in the area into the gravitational core. The convergence of such a large quantity of the virus gave rise to the heterocore, the thing that took over the gravitational core. That information alone is enough to change the course of the war. And she has to deliver it, together with the heterocore shard in her chest, back to Babylonia. The only thing to do now is wait very patiently. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of your sails. Must fill, or else my project fails. She is not aware of how much time has passed. It may have been a long time or merely a second. The space station, blah blah blah. Sorry. The space station, which has been quiet all this time, is welcoming another group of guests. There is a group calling themselves the Grey Raven, who work so well together. It is like they can read each other's minds. And with them is a familiar pink figure. Is that Isla? Selena's mind was shattered by what she had experienced. Pieces itself together on seeing that girl. Isla, the construct which has been pushing herself for years, finally closes her eyes. Which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant. And my ending this is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free. In the auguries of innocence, God does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day. No music. How much time has passed? What is the world outside like now? What am I doing? She has lost all her memories. She's even close to forgetting who she is. She seems to have been wandering around for a long time. Unfortunately, your fate is not in your own hands. Target construct successfully captured. Both the corruption rate and the functionality are in line with our estimations. Then an immense pain hits her. Her already broken body is being further dismembered. Oh my gosh. Roland, are you still researching this woman? She is interesting, don't you think? She's not completely dead, but she's not alive either. Being in this state, I wonder how she views herself. How does she view the world? That's what I'm interested in. What is it that keeps you going? You're still fighting to live, even though you've been reduced to this. What is the source of your power? Ha! So that's how it is, no wonder. I wonder if Gabriel's realized it yet. It'd be better for you to stay here with me. At least you'll be able to continue your beauty sleep, if but for the moment. Red tides ripple against Gabriel's feet, and hetera creatures now swarm around him. Countless substances dissolve and reform in the tides, becoming part of the hetera creatures. A corrupted wandering around Gabriel is suddenly crushed into pieces by Gabriel's giant hand. The pieces are then unceremoniously discarded into the red tide, attracting the hetero creatures. Gabriel picks up the black suitcase next to him with his right hand. But he's holding a book, right? It would take forever with only corrupted, as I thought. As soon as Gabriel has submerged the suitcase in the tides, the hetero creatures start swarming around the suitcase. The suitcase disappears in the blink of an eye, exposing the wrecked half body in it. What? Was that half of Selena's body? Now for the entry. She has lived through years of suffering. Her groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of every angry bears. It is a torment to lay upon the dam, which nothing could again undo. Memories of her pasts set upon her like vengeful spirits, dragging her down into an endless spiral. Without faith, without glory, and most definitely without forgiveness and blessing. There's just hatred and anger that knows no bounds. Damn. Why did we have to face all that? Why did it have to be us who were there? Why did we get to a point when we were forced to destroy everything? I'm sorry we couldn't get you out, but Selena, the shard you're carrying may be a critical key, and you must get it back to Babylonia, no matter what the cost. Everyone she had ever met appear before her, one after another. I think it's the core, the shard she put on her chest. Everyone she had ever met appear before her, one after another. Eventually, there is a scarlet wave washes over them and everything freezes. A person looking exactly like hers stands on top of the red tide. What are you holding on for? You can't even remember who you are anymore. What you love has been scorned by others. A promise is all that's keeping you going. But then again, it's been so long. Who would still remember that promise? You can hate all you who have abandoned you. You can rage at what's happened to you. You have every right. Come join me in slumber here. Selena. Before that, I always thought when humans died, there was nothing left. When a construct is broken, they are just scrap metal. No one remembers. I thought no one would care, but you sang for him. That was the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my entire life. Just naivety, but it was truly beautiful. If everything was really like that, how nice would that be? No, what I love has never been scorned. It was never others who scorned it, but myself. Selena shakes her head, turns her back on the figure, and walks in the opposite direction. Very nice music, by the way. Only a deeper hell awaits you down that path. I know. Selena does not look back. She has said there was no reason to keep fighting. But she knows better than any one of the three beasts lurking in her art. Dante put them behind him as he advanced into hell and purgatory. Boy, DMC. I mean Dante's Inferno. While she has brought them along with her to this place, how they cry, scratch, and roar wildly, struggling to break free. For what she believes in, for what she loves, she'll use her claws if she loses her legs. She'll use her fangs if her claws break. It does not matter how undignified, how disgraceful, or how ugly she looks. She has to live on. She will try. And see just how long she can hold on. The purple eyes of the wrecked construct lying in the red tide suddenly fly open. Oh my god. I know this part. I mean, I think that's the picture. It is so painful, so very painful. Her already shattered mind is decimated even further. Selena does not know whether she has become bait or seed crystal, the beings above seem to be deconstructing her, but also reconstructing her at the same time. She struggles to lift her head above the water, like a drowning person trying to draw her last breath. And then, she saw stars, numerous in the sky. Man, I like her eyes in this picture. But I don't know why her face looks clean. Oh no, it's not really clean. She has a broken frame. In that moment, her mind, which has been constantly battered, became unusually calm. Her eyes take in the stars, which are changing into breathtaking star rails. The moon is on the other end, shining brightly. So, is she on Earth? It is so beautiful. I wish Isla could see this. Who is Isla? The corner of Selena's mouth turned upward as those contradictory thoughts run through her head. And then she completely submerged by the red tide. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. To those poor souls who dwell in night, God appears, and God is light. To those who dwell in realms of day, but does a human form display? Okay, I guess that was the red tide right there. I think this one's long. We have to cut the stream. I'll probably continue this because the next part is EX04 Echo Aria. Yeah, this one. This one is next, but I think it's a bit longer. Yeah, there's like, not sure if it's totally 18 chapters, I don't know. But that's one. Then we'll have to finish the Affection Story 6 as well. So we'll have to continue those later. Yeah, probably later. Okay. Alright. I mean, there's really nothing much left to do. So,
この戦いが終わった後、世界がどうなっていくのか想像できません。でも、あなたが平和な穏やかな世界で浮かべる笑顔は想像できます。私はそのために戦っていますから。
I'm not sure how she became a construct. I mean, this new construct. Maybe in the story we'll know more. So, anyway, we'll end the stream now, and I'll go back in a few hours. Yep. I'll see you later. So we'll have a part 2 later. See you later. Bye bye.